Now, South Africa's tax revenue collection has come in at 1.56 trillion rand so far. SARS says revenue collections have grown 25% since last year. The biggest contributor to collections was personal income tax, value-added tax and company income tax. This preliminary result would mean that SARS has collected more money than the budget estimate of 1.54 trillion rand. Our business reporter, Tumisang Ndlovu, is following the story and joins us live with the SARS Commissioner. Tumisang, a very good afternoon to you. The highest collection we've seen since the dawn of democracy. I know that Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana also spoke, highlighting some of the contributing factors to this really phenomenal news.
Indeed, impressive in terms of the current collection in these preliminary numbers. We have been seeing an increase in collection over the last couple of years, and the Minister of Finance lauding SARS and the Commissioner also lauding South African taxpayers, especially on the side of attributing towards compliance. Commissioner joins us now, that is Edward Kieswetter. Commissioner, thank you so much for your time, and quite impressive. Are you satisfied at this point?
I think there are always two halves to this coin. On the one hand, we are encouraged and yes, pleased with the outcome. This is the first time that we have crossed the 1.5 trillion in revenue collected, and also the first time that we have refunded more than 320 billion rand. And this is important for both sides of the economy, the government as well as private sector. At the same time, one remains concerned at the level of compliance. There's still significant area for improvement there, as well as the proliferation of crime and corruption, which still extracts money out of the system that should be funding government programs and providing goods and services to ordinary South Africans. But on the whole, yes, we are pleased, and the work begins all over. So the scoreboard as of this morning is 0. Last night it was 1.563 trillion. This morning when we woke up, we have to start all over again.
And you've set even a bigger target coming into the next financial year. Of course, you've beat the set target for yourselves as well as that that was put forward by the minister in the February budget. How do you see challenges that remain within the South African economy in terms of meeting that even more optimistic target?
Well, so I think an important indicator for us is not performance against the number the minister sets for us. That's an important reference point, but the real indicator of progress is the year-on-year growth in revenue. And this year it has been 25% compared to last year, and compared to the pre-COVID year, more than 15%. Of course, every year it just becomes harder and harder to achieve the same results. We also know that we are still rebuilding SARS. We are not as efficient and as on top of our game as we need to be. So the rebuilding process, expanding and increasing our human capability, leveraging data and technology, employing artificial intelligence, are all important components that help us manage this daunting task to ensure that every cent that is due, every rand that is due is collected, and that compliance improves and trade facilitation takes place in a way that strengthens the domestic economy.
Lastly, Commissioner, you made a very important statement earlier when you said South Africa is sick with corruption, and this is an element that SARS is dealing with head-on, even to the extent of lifestyle audits. How is that going in terms of pace and ensuring that your targets are ones that meet the priority areas where eliminating corruption is concerned within the systems of SARS?
You know, I've said before that we cannot work fast enough to keep up with the extent of corruption and tax and economic crime in South Africa. And therefore, I continue to make the appeal to our minister, who has pledged his support, and to our colleagues in Treasury to ensure that SARS is appropriately funded so that we can improve our capability, our capacity, both technology and data, technology and human capability. So if you ask me, even though there's signs of progress, we need to move faster across the entire justice cluster to ensure that not only the civil matters that steal revenue, but also the criminal aspects thereof is sufficiently investigated by organs such as the SIU, the South African Police Service, and then successfully prosecuted by the National Prosecuting Agency. We have to work together to improve the entire system. But yes, as I said, sadly, for reasons that everyone can analyze on their own, we have to admit that we are a society that is riddled with corruption, and that still, in addition to that, has too many instances of crime, violent crime often, that is just a symptomatic of the state of our social fiber in society. And as a parent, as a grandparent, as a South African, those are the factors that concern me about the state of our country.